Good morning, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome to a new trading week. We're just going to start by reviewing the setups for this NinjaTrader live session, and then I have organized my charts, all the charts that I want to share with you, and we'll see if we can find a trade today. So this is the disclaimer. And this is our market map that we follow. This is our market map that we follow. And we'll try to look at what the market is giving us, where we are in the market cycles today for day trading. But this is the picture that we have in our mind when we're trading the markets, because after we have a trend move, we have a correction. And that just goes without saying. And sometimes the correction leads into a deeper correction. So let's have a look at that. Okay, you're all familiar with this. So on the left, we have the market cycle, the 8-wave market cycle. We call it the 8-wave market cycle because that's technically, it's an Elliott wave pattern where we have a 5-wave move up, but this move up, it's a trend move. And we don't know if it's going to be 5 waves or 9 waves or 13 waves or 17 waves or 21 waves. It could be a very extended move. So that's why we just call it trend. I just call it trend. It doesn't have, we don't have to be able to count 5 waves in this trend. It can be an extended move. Bottom line is we can draw channel lines around it. And when price is above the filter, which is above the wave, we're in the trend. As soon as we start to break down into the wave and then we have a retracement, that's when we look at a deeper correction, a fill the gap trade to the tunnel. And this is our basic corrective pattern once we've reached a top in the market. Okay, let's go to the charts. Let's just start quickly with a top-down approach. So let's just start quickly by looking at the daily chart. Okay, now I have it's not, is it moving? Yeah. Wait a second. No. Hold on. I'm frozen. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I've marked up the chart, so it's going to be hard to see the latest candles because I've marked up the charts on the smaller time frame. But let's just start with the ES on the upper left. So we had a nice move down to the tunnel, and then we had a significant move up without a correction. We failed to make a new high, but it was really a straight trend move higher with a few trend line breaks. And then what did we do? We broke down today, basically, starting from Sunday night. We had a correction. We broke down. Same with the NASDAQ. We had a very choppy corrective move down to the tunnel. We didn't get the gray semaphores here. We didn't get them like we got them in the YM and the RTY. And then we moved up and then we broke down. So how can you anticipate a move down after we have a significant move up? Well, we failed to make a new high. So this could have been, a correction of this move down. And that's what it is. That's what it seems to be. So now the next question is, where do we go from here? And are we going to continue to head down again? That's the question. On the YM on the lower left, we did a really nice breakout 4 trade here. We had the gray semaphore and the green arrow came up and the 3 profit targets came up and we hit the profit targets. Again, we failed to make a new high and now we're correcting. But notice that the correction is not the same as the correction in the ES and the NQ. Okay, these were much steeper corrections. So we have to watch that. There's some divergence in the indices. the NQ and the ES are weaker today compared to the YM and the RTY. With the RTY, we didn't quite make it up to the third target, like we surpassed the third target with the YM. So the YM was really very, very stronger compared to the RTY, but the move down it's more of a sideways correction in the RTY as it is in the YM compared to the top two indices. So if I were to look at these now, I would say, okay, maybe the market will be more defensive on the NQ and the ES, more defensive on the NQ and the ES. Okay, let's just move down the time frames. I thought I fixed this earlier and I thought that it would be fine, but no, I have to add to the data series. Okay. Starting with the ES on the upper left, when the market, we have a gap between Friday's close and Sunday night's open. Like we have a gap in all of the markets, just a larger gap in the NQ, I would say. And we came down, and as soon as New York came in, because we had a significant drop, New York took it back up. But we'll see that when we go down to the smaller time frame. Let's just see what we see on the NQ on the right on the 4-hour. Printed as a breakout for sell, and it hit all the targets. And when we have a strong move down in the indices, so if we go from noble to noble, for example, from royal to yellow, we can expect some kind of a pop. Even if we're going to go down later and have a deeper correction, we can expect some kind of a pop. And this is the pop that we're seeing right now. But when we get down to the smaller time frames, we'll analyze it more. And then on the YM, we came down to the wave, and on the RTY, we came down to the wave. I'm just going to move down the time frames because we can't really, I'd have to change instruments to see. I mean, I could change instruments. I could go to the micro so we could see more of just the wavy tunnel and not the boxes that I've drawn on the 15-minute chart, which is how I analyze for the overnight trading. Yeah, so now we're on the 60-minute, and on the let's just look at the top two, the ES and the NQ. We have a royal semaphore for each of those, but we have a noble semaphore for the RTY and the YM. And that's to be expected because when we did the higher analysis, we saw the bigger drop in the ES and the NQ. So it's interesting that we actually have breakout force signals on the 60-minute on the YM and the RTY, and that occurred at 4 in the morning when we got the noble semaphores. 4 in the morning we got the noble semaphores, and then we got the signal when we get the green arrow and price closes above the 12 EMA. That's just my way of saying let's just wait this is an early entry, and this is just a confirmed entry when we close above the 12 EMA. But you can certainly, take the trade by looking at the candlestick pattern and by looking at a 1, 2, 3 reversal on a smaller time frame. So we just got a red semaphore on the YM, and we backed off, and a red semaphore on the RTY, and we backed off. And on the top side, notice because we got the purples, we came down a lot, we got blue semaphores on the top side. Now let's just move down to the analysis screen, which is the 15-minute. And let's see where we are. On the ES, let's do the ES first. On the ES, I drew the box around, no, this is the gap from Friday's close to the New York, from Friday's close to the open Sunday night. That's the gap. This is the Asian range in this salmon colored box. And I've taken this from 7 o'clock Sunday night to 1 o'clock in the morning. And then this is the European. So I've taken this from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. This blue vertical line is the 9:30 open. So New York immediately bought this. Why? Because the overnight markets took us so far down from the New York close, which is this brown line, this brown horizontal line. The brown horizontal line and the brown vertical line is the New York close on Friday. The blue vertical line over here and the blue horizontal line is the midnight close. So really the question I have is, are we going to drop from here, or is the market going to take us up to at least the midnight close, which would be the tunnel? But we have to follow, we have to go to the smaller time frame to see that. That's on the ES. So we're weaker than the market is weak. We've done a nice 3-wave move up. We could come down from here. Let's just quickly move to the next market, the NQ. Range for Asia, range for Europe. So we just about hit the top end of the range for Europe, and now we're backing off with the red semaphore. Let's look at the YM. The YM, we noticed when we looked at the bigger time frames that it was pretty strong, like the strongest of pretty strong. And you can see that here as well. This was the Asian range. This was the European range. New York comes in over here and takes it all the way up to the top of the Asian range. Okay, all the way up to the top of the Asian range. And if we just go back to the ES and the NQ, we didn't even reach the top of the European range for each of these markets. So this is very strong. So if we were to do anything in the YM today, we would want to be buyers. And same for the RTY. The RTY is even stronger. This is the Asian range. This is the European range. This is the New York Open, 9:30. Look at this. We went all the way. We surpassed the Asian high. We filled the gap. We went higher than Friday's close. Friday's close is, did I not put that in? Oh, I didn't finish doing this one. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the Friday, I must have just, okay. So what I do is I put a 4 o'clock horizontal line in brown. So we've surpassed the, so now looking at this, you can see which, this is a quick and dirty way to see which of the markets are the most bullish. We could literally look at this and say which ones are, I'm just drawing are the most bullish, and in what order here, saddle brown. Okay, so this cross is the Friday close. So we surpassed, we went above the Friday close. So looking at this methodology, why don't you type in which is the strongest so far? Which is the strongest from the overnight trading? Good, you got it, the RTY. What's next? The YM. Terrific, you're listening. And then the ES and the NQ are about the same, right? Same pattern? Same pattern. Okay. All right, let's go down to the smaller time frames. Let's look at the 5-minute, and then we're going to settle on the 2-minute. Okay. Notice, look at the ES and the NQ. On the 15-minute, we had the red semaphore. On the 5-minute, okay, I just moved this by accident. Okay. Red semaphore, gray, gray. On the next time frame lower, we actually had the gray semaphore, and probably purples. So let's just have a look at the 5-minute. Yeah. Okay. So we reached where's the 9:30? Okay, here it is. Yeah, we got a gray semaphore, and we got a trend line break. And let's start with that. Let's start with the trend line break. We have a magenta trend line break on both. And we also have a red. We have a red and we have a magenta. The reason why I know we don't have a red. That red arrow is for the breakout 4 cell. We have a magenta on both. So the magenta trend line target is a red semaphore. And I get that from looking at the trading blotter. Here's the trading blotter. The red trend line break, sorry, the magenta trend line break, the target is a red semaphore. Okay. So that's at a minimum that we could look for on this move down. And if we go down to the YM and the RTY, I don't think we want to be selling these markets because these are strong. Look at the YM, look at how sideways this is, and indecisive, small bodies, long tails. This is saying, this is a pause in the trend, and we could, trade higher. If we break out above here, then we should trade higher. If we break down below here, we could have a deeper correction. Let's go down to the 2-minute. Okay, of the four markets, which market would you be most interested in trading today? And which direction? Given that analysis and your own analysis, what floats your boat, as they say? And maybe I know that's, let me put up the 1 minute. I know a lot of you trade the 1 minute. I don't. I like looking at the 2 minute, but let's just see what the 1 minute is telling us. Oh, okay, there we go. Come on, come on. Any ideas? Good morning, Mila. Okay, Shane says RTY. Dave says NQ. Long or short? RTY long, NQ long to the gap. So you're saying the gap, the gap, Friday's gap, which is all the way up here. Okay, here we have the red lines indicate the ranges. This is the Asian range, so we're almost there. The blue line is the midnight price, so heading up towards the gap. Okay. Anybody else? Sandra's saying YM long. Yeah, we're right there. We're at the yeah, we've just taken out the high, haven't we? Diego is saying ES short. Okay. ES short. Okay, you know what? Let's do something. I'm going to use demo account and I'm going to put the 2 minutes up and you each picked a different currency. Let's just take the trades in each currency. It's a demo account. Okay, so I'm just going to put chart trader up, sim account, and let's just take those trades and let's see how they play out. Okay. Okay. I'm not using the ATM. I'm just going to take three contracts in each. Now, the question is, should we just, okay, the YM is moving up. Let's just get in there. Okay, we're long the YM. You said you wanted to go long the RTY. Okay. You said you wanted to go long and short the ES. Well, we've made a new high here, so maybe let's just wait a little bit on that. We got in a little late on the YM. We could have gotten in on the above this high. Okay, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, all right. We are now in all of the trades. Okay, let's just see how they play out now. And then we can discuss maybe better entries and where we can take profits. Let's just. Now on the NQ, I've put in 3 profit targets at the 3 resistance levels. The top one is not quite at the New York close, but it's almost there. Do the RTY. The RTY is backing off here. Normally, I would have this as an ATM strategy, but I just decided not to do that. Okay, on the RTY, we've already taken out all of the near or above the New York Open. We're already, so I'm just going to leave 3 profit targets on the way up. Okay, I don't know if, and notice I didn't leave the stop loss yet. Sandra hit her goal for the YM. Great, excellent. Yes, so then you're out. You're out. Where did you get in? Somewhere in here? Or at the, yeah, excellent. For the YM, I'm setting the first profit target at the New York close, and then the next one's slightly higher up. This one is I'm leaving profit target at the filter and at the wave and a little bit below. Got in at 44,510. Excellent. Excellent. So that was just at the close here. Excellent. On the YM. Or just below. Great. Okay. Oh boy, we just missed our target in the NQ. The ES short and the NQ long is like a hedge. Looking at the YM, we have small bodies again. So it could be that we have another pop. Hopefully we do. And we can get our profit targets. The RTY is range bound. We're into the wave, so hopefully that'll turn around and move up. ES and NQ. I don't know. Let's see. I wouldn't normally trade like this, by the way. I just did it, just did it just to see, because everybody had a different market that they had a view on. So I just did it just to take the trade and let's see it play out. But I would never trade like this on my own. I would usually trade one market. And I probably would have picked the YM today as a buy. That's it. But let's just see. Oh, you're glad I did this to get a different perspective? Yeah, yeah, let's I can be creative sometimes. I've never done this before, honestly, where I've said, okay, what do you think? And then let's take the trades, but let's just see what happens here. Notice I didn't put stop losses in. We should always trade with the stop loss. Okay, let's see if we're gonna squeak out another move up.
Hey Jody, isn't there a way to add a stop loss after you go into a position?
Oh yeah. So okay, so we could add a stop loss. Oh, you right click and you go, you sell stop. That's how you do it. But I have, okay, I'd have to change it to 3. Oh, we just got filled on something. Oh, on our NQ position, I think, right? Yeah, we just got filled on our first NQ. Okay, what on the NQ, we have 2 left, so let's put a stop loss in there. And I'll change the order quantity to 2, and I'll right click and I'll say sell stop market or limit. Market is, the limit is they try to get you the price. The market is when it hits the price, they get you the next price. I'll just put limit and we'll change it to 2 and we'll, oh, what happened there? Order filled. I just got an order filled. Oh, that was in the YM. We got filled on our first profit target on the YM. Okay, so I'll just leave this stop a little bit above break even for the next 2 contracts on the NQ, but hopefully it won't get stopped out. And the RTY. So let's put a stop on the RTY. 3 contracts because that's what we have left. And why don't we leave it just below these lows? Okay, just below these lows on the RTY. So we've done the stops on the NQ and the RTY. And we'll set a stop below these candle lows on the YM. Let me change it to 2. We might get stopped out. These are very close stops, but I didn't risk manage it. I didn't determine exactly where my stop should be based on what I wanted to, what the maximum loss should be. So we have our stops in, and Let's just do the ES, and this would be a buy stop. All right, so now we have our stops in place. And we got 2 profit targets. I did 3 contracts in each. But the stops are very close. And where we end up at the end of the day, I have no idea. Honestly, it's a coin toss for me. Because we could trade higher now and get our profit targets met, or some of them met, some more of them met. And then at this afternoon, we can reverse and come back down again. I have no idea. I'm hoping that we continue to trade higher. If we look at the ES and the NQ, we have small bodied candles sideways, many candles lining up sideways. So either we break down or we break higher. We're hedged there because we're short in the ES and we're long in the NQ. So we're protected now. Oh, we just got filled. Okay. We just got stopped out on the NQ. And it didn't cancel the orders. So it's really important that we have no position left. So I have to cancel these orders. Okay, on the NQ. So now we're flat in the NQ. And we're flat in the YM. We're short in the ES, and now that's in profit. And we're still long in the RTY. And net, we're up about $1,000. Yeah, I know that this is not normal, not what you would expect us to do here. What are we learning here? What are we learning? This is interesting because what I'm seeing is we moved our stops relatively quickly, which is good. Like we took profits and we moved our stops, and we're hedged. We went short in the ES. So if the market does come down, we're going to make money in the ES. Just see. our first profit target was hit on the ES. So now we have to change this to 2. I know there must be a way, Andy, you said there must be a way to do a one cancels the other, but I don't know. So, okay, so I'm just going to change this to 2 and leave a stop for 2. Wait a second, what am I doing? Up here. So what do we have here? We're long RTY and we're short ES, and we've got one profit target on the ES. What are you guys thinking at this point? For those of you that came in the room at just now, at the beginning, I asked everybody, we did a top-down approach on all of the markets, and we decided that the YM was the strongest, and the ES and the NQ came down a lot since Friday's close, so that they were going to be more defensive in a way. And the RTY was also was very strong. Well, actually, the RTY was this. Is that the strongest? The strongest, based on our analysis. So I said, okay, what positions would you take? And 4 people chimed in. Each one picked a different market and picked long NQ, long RTY, long YM, short ES. And I said, okay, let's just take all of those trades. So we took all of those trades. And we got profited out of one contract on the NQ and the YM, and then we got stopped out of the rest, and we're just waiting on the balance. We're still long the RTY, and we're short the ES. So that's what happened so far. And we're profitable. I just took 3 contracts in each. But I'll tell you, if the RTY gets stopped out, then we're going to wipe out the profits unless the ES comes down as well, and then we will make some money. Right now we're up $800 on the whole thing. Okay, so I asked for comments. So Andy says, I like it at least to learn how to manage the trades. Shane said, all 4 have divergence in the awesome. No new highs. Interesting. Okay. So price to wave, then wave to gap. Is that correct? Yes, absolutely. Price to wave and then fill the gap. Yes. So let's just, so he's noting that we have divergence in the awesome oscillator. So if we look at the ES, it's a very important point. We have divergence. Price made a new high. The awesome oscillator didn't. Let's look at the bungees. The yellow is still in the upper reversal zone. It hasn't flipped down yet. So we want it to start to, we want it to flip down. If it stays strong in the upper reversal zone, then what we could see is the bungees in the lower reversal zone just coming back up to meet the yellow, and we might not go down. We might not go down anymore. Yeah. And we have the divergence in the NQ as well. We're still in the upper reversal zone for the yellow bungee. And this is just a stretch away. These are stretchaways. So when we had this stretch away in the ES and we snapped back up, price moved up. Now we had another stretch away, another stretch away. Oh, I'm wondering if we should just, yeah, get out of this ES completely. Let's focus on that and see if we get some kind of a pullback, and then I'll close this. I'm going to just move this up, and hopefully we'll get a the RTY is going to get stopped out. Maybe we'll save one. I'm moving it back down again. Okay, we got stopped out in the RTY, so let's just protect our profits in the ES. Not protect, let's just try to extend our profits. Maybe we will come down. Okay, I have to cancel these orders in RTY. We got stopped out. Angles on ES, NQ, and YM look good. What do you mean by that? Okay. It's interesting. Look at, oh, come on. Just come down and give us some more profit. Look at the YM. It's perfectly sideways. It's still bullish. Look at this. Look at this. It's still bullish. And this RTY is just a nice three-wave correction. But we're going to get our profit target. Come on ES. Come on. I visually saw that RTY made a high and then PW filled the gap and yellow is coming down. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're right. When I was looking at this, when we were in, and I thought, should I just get out of it? Because I know we're gonna get stopped out. This was the only one. You're right. It was coming down. The yellow bungee was coming down. Good call. Okay, come on, ES. The yellow bungee, it's really important to take a look at that. So because the yellow bungee is still in the upper, I think we can squeak out our profit, but we don't need to look for much more. Come on, come on. Okay, should we get out of this? Should we just close the trade? Yes or no? Yes, no. Okay. Okay, well, let's move the stop down to just below break even. How's that? Okay, we'll just move the stop down to just below break even. That way we don't lose on this trade and we can make a nice profit on it. Okay. Now, okay, we got our second profit target. Good call, Philip. Lower red semaphore and we'll go back up. Okay, let's change. We have to change this stop to 1. I have to change it to 1. We'll just put it below break even. And let's just move this up a little bit. Okay, now we're bracketed. We have our stop loss and we have our last profit target. And we're up over $1,000 from the 4 trades. And I canceled all the other orders. Okay. All right, so there is a question here. Andrew, in NQ, how do you know when to enter long, expecting the bungees to snap back? Right. Well, that's where you want to enter long always in support. So the wave gives support. So if the wave gives support, we have the red bungee. And so you want to look always for support in conjunction with the bungees in the lower reversal zone and snapping back. Okay. And Mila said, I'd wait for the blue bungee to join the red one. So you're talking about the ES. You're talking about the ES, right? So you're waiting for the blue bungee to move down to the red one, which it's joined it now, hasn't it? Okay, let's move this stop down to below, to above this the high of this candle. And let's just get profited out here. Either with our stop in profit or with our profit target. Okay, while we're waiting on this, I want to tell you what's coming up. Next Monday, we are going to meet again, but we're organizing a 3-day event with my team, with Neil and with Juan and I. And on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 3 to 4 Eastern. On Monday, we're going to focus on Forex. So it will be Neil and Juan. And it'll be very exciting because Juan will do the wave counts and Neil will do the perspective on using the Wavy Tunnel Pro, and he's a master at reading the bungees and reading the semaphores and the trend line breaks, etc. So that should be interesting. Tuesday, we're going to do futures. We just got filled. Okay, so I can cancel the buy order. So we made $1,300 today on all doing that little exercise. On Tuesday, we're going to do futures. So Juan will do analysis and I'll do the Wavy Tunnel futures on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And on Wednesday, we'll do stocks. So you should get emails about that. And that should be interesting. Okay, but next Monday at 10 o'clock, we're going to meet again. This was interesting, wasn't it? This was kind of fun. really the only market that I was like a little like convinced about was the YM, that it would go up, but you guys, you know, you nailed the NQ, you nailed the ES. The RTY is just so, you know, it's just sluggish here. Still, it's just sluggish. So good calls, everybody. Good calls. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. We've had our hour together, and I am just going to end the recording and stick around because I have to help a few people. So let me just end the recording. Thanks very much. That was a lot of fun, and thank you for your participation.